for joining this webinar organized by Schneider Electric in collaboration with the Chamber of Engineers and also ESS and Electra Limited. Mr. Mohammed Salah will be taking care of this webinar today. And please feel free to ask any questions after the webinar. And also, should you have any further questions, please, you can send an email to myself at the Chamber of Engineers, or also you can contact me at ESS or Electro. Mr. Salah, perhaps you can start your introduction.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Mohammed Salah. I'm an EcoStruxure Power Product Application Engineer, which is a technical guy for what we call the switchboard of the future here in Schneider. And we're gonna discuss a presentation, some plentiful slides regarding to which offers or which products that we offering regarding to make our switchboard or to convert our switchboard from a dummy panel into a smart one. I'm gonna share my screen. Sharing is disabled, so
No
from
problem.
you, yeah.
Marcel,
Is it okay?
yeah, can you please put Mohammed
Yeah,
as
I
a
think.
co-host?
Yeah, I think it's working right now.
Is it okay?
Yeah, is it okay? Yeah.
Salah, I think you were put on mute. Yes, because you're sharing something with audio. Yeah, so basically, because the staff is not able to share his voice, we're just going to start with a video about smart panels.
And act as a partner to help you optimize energy and run a more efficient facility. Now it can. Introducing Smart Panels, your new partner in electrical system management. A connected solution within the EcoStruxure Power architecture. Smart Panels gives your electrical system a voice. The heart of Smart Panels is the Interlinks communication system. Intelligent components that send data to you in real time. So, instead of spending hours or days gathering information, you're always ahead of electrical issues. Our Facility Advisor software guides you, providing you with a comprehensive view of your system and helping you boost operational efficiency, improve energy efficiency, and help increase reliability and safety. Smart Panels are proactive, keeping you ahead of downtime. Measure power usage easily, monitor power quality and asset status, and benchmark your facility's energy consumption. You can connect using a simple Ethernet architecture, easing bandwidth concerns. Act on data to save energy, and make informed decisions so you can finally stop chasing vague alarms. Plus, our Facility Expert app alerts you instantly to potential problems, helping you keep your cool. That means fewer power interruptions, more uptime, and greater productivity. Your electrical system has something to say. Give it a voice with Smart Panels, another connected EcoStruxure solution from Schneider Electric.
Okay, I'm gonna reshare again, but without the voice to hear my voice. Okay, Muhammad, now you can hear my voice and see my screen, right?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, so as you saw in the video, we are trying to make your panels has a voice to talk with you. So how we gonna do this with some of smart components, which is I'm gonna focus today in two of our newly products that it serve in the switchboard of the future. So the first one is the PowerTags, which is a small meter to measure your energy and also to give you an indication or to give you an alarm that you are getting too much consumption, or you are hitting your peak demand or whatever that you have in your facility, even if your breaker is stripped. So we have a topology to put the power tag to know which breaker is stripped, and like you can see in the presentation. So first of all, why is power tag? Actually, because of these three main pillars: energy, because it has simply an energy cost allocation. What is energy cost allocation? You can allocate your cost regarding to what you are consuming. So I'm not putting a meter in your incoming only to know how much you consume. I'm just deep dive into your loads to know every and each load how much it consumes, so you can know your consumption, where it gone. So second thing is an ISO enabler 501, and if you know, ISO 5001 is a certificate regarding to the energy efficiency, and also it's complied with the local standards, and like you see, monitor a consumption of each and every zone, not only your total consumption. Peace of mind that you have two alarms if you have an overload of your machinery, or if you have an voltage loss or the breaker is tripped. Last thing is to take an action to reduce your downtime impact. Okay, so here is the measurements, or here is the power tag. Since the phase to neutral and phase to phase voltage, current per phase, active and reactive power total and per phase, apparent power total, power factor, and frequency. So like you can see, it is a wireless solution or a Zigbee communicated solution. So we don't need to extra wires. We just put this power tag and get one of the concentrators to take the data from it. And we have a variety of these power tags, like I'm going to show you in the next slides. So you can put it on the multi-case circuit breaker, or even on the miniature in the miniature circuit breakers to reach the final loads. Just a small thing to remember: the power tag is the smallest wireless energy sensor in the world. It's designed to reach your final distribution loads and to see your loads. Okay. So here's some videos regarding how it's easy to install the power tag on our products, or even for non-Schneider products. So the first level of the power tag called power tag M, which is for Schneider products. So it's easily you just passing through the cables through it and tied the screws, and that's it. And he will communicate wireless by Zigbee communication to a test concentrator. And what we have P, it's in a phase and neutral with a free phase. So you can put it right here, but make sure that the neutral is on the left with this wire. Okay, and the third one called Flex. Flex can work even with non-Schneider products. Also, you have to take care about X, Y, Z, the direction of the positioning, and the N with the neutral. And here is for the molded case. But this is only for Schneider Electric molded case circuit breaker NSX, or for INS or INV.
Sorry, I have a small question at the moment, if you don't mind.
Yeah, it's okay.
I saw that you are putting a module. That module doesn't have any supply. What
Yeah.
kind of technology is using, for example, NOCEAN or one of those energy harvesting technologies? Is that correct?
Yeah, so yeah, you mean how it's communicate without any batteries, right?
Exactly, exactly. How it is powered and how it is communicating with no batteries.
Yeah, okay. So we have no, actually we have batteries, and also it works with the magnetic field passing through the wires. So it has its embedded CT, so you don't need an extra CTs. You just sense the current and send it to the concentrator for you. Yes, it has a battery, and it's tested from 10 to 15 years to give you the information of the consumption.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
What about
This is Ahmed Azam. To add to Salah, this is simply self-powered. No external power supply wire need to be wired to the power tag. The power came, it takes the power from the electromagnetic field pass through the cable. And this is the beauty in this offer. It's very, very small. It will not take any extra footprint in your electrical installation. So it's very small, self-powered, can communicate wireless with Zigbee communication module.
just like the induced EMF coming throughout the cables? So it works the circuit of the power tags and send the messages or send the measurements to a test concentrator. And of course, the concentrator has to have a power supply, but the power tag itself, it doesn't have to be powered. It's self-powered, like Ahmed Azam said.
So you have a mixture of devices that some of them require power supply, like active, and some of them can work without power supply, like energy harvesting. Okay.
Yeah, the power tag is a self-powered, but the concentrator that's concentrate all of the data of the power tags has to be or have to get a power supply in order to work. That I'm going to show you in the next slide. Okay, and here is the difference between if you can put the power tag for, on the top of your breaker or on the bottom of your breaker, and it differs because which side is closer to the load. So if you are putting the power tag closer to the load, so you can get the advantage of voltage loss, which is when the breaker is tripped. So you can get a small alarm saying that you have something wrong, like you see in this illustration video.
And also, what we are seeing here is a simulation, the type of reading we can get from the power tag, as Muhammad Salah said, is the smallest wireless energy sensor. And I need to stick to the word energy sensor. Is not a current transformer only, it's an energy sensor. So it acts as a power meter to give you the volt, the current, the kilowatt hour, and power factor also. not only a wireless CT, it's an energy sensor, totally energy sensor, and have a third-party IEC certificate for that.
Okay. So regarding to the design, so you're gonna need one of the power tags in the incomings. So if there is a dummy switchboard and we want to make it smart or we want to make it the switchboard of the future, so we're gonna put a power tag of the molded case in the incoming and power tags for the three ball mature circuit breakers, which can be used a section of lighting, a section of sockets, or something like this, and a power tag for each load on the critical loads. Maybe it's gonna be a fridge, an important pump that you have, important server in your IT system, whatever. So this is called an energy cost allocation. So you have to allocate your energy. And finally, it is something called power tag control input output. So you can give a signal or an output signal to open the light or close the light remotely, and to take an input from a miniature circuit breaker to say it is on, it's off, it's stripped or not. And finally, here is the concentrator, which is called a panel server. It has three types or three references. It could collect up to 20 or 100 wireless sensor within the same panel, and like you see, it is the brain of the system. It collect all of the data in order to aggregate it to your software, or even to open the web page of the panel server itself to see your consumption by simple Ethernet cable Modbus TCP over IP. And the easy thing here is the commissioning. It's easy because with using our solution, you can download a program called EcoStruxure Power Commissioning, and you could easily says auto discover. So the concentrator will search in the range of the power tags to see if there is any power tags to get or not, and it will locate it, and it's done. Nothing else, because like Ahmed Azam said, we don't have wires, we don't have anything. You just click one button to discover the power tags, and voila, you have your power tags in your system. So the commissioning time is too small. Here is a sum up about the tags. So you're gonna see power tag M or mono connect. This is for the 18 millimeter pitch between phase and neutral. Phase neutral. Power tag phase neutral. It is a 9 millimeter pitch between phase and neutral. And power tag flex, like I said, for other devices or specific installation, up to 63 amperes. So the power tag is up to 63 amperes for the miniature circuit breakers. And for the molded case circuit breakers, we have two types, up to 250 amperes or 630 amperes for only the breakers of Schneider Electric, which is the NSX or INS or INV, which has 35 millimeter pitch or 45 millimeter pitch for the molded case circuit breaker. And what if we need to have more amperage, up to 2000 ampere? For Schneider Electric components or non-Schneider Electric components, you can see we have here power tag rope. It's a clamps to put it, even you can put it on the bus bars. So it's a clamp that covers the cables or the bars, and it goes to this small component, and this one will send the measurements to its concentrator. And something called power tag F160 for compact NSXM and TZGV4. This is motor circuit breakers for here also in Schneider Electric.
A small question, please.
Yeah.
What
Yes.
is the maximum current rating that you can read on the NSXM? Is it 160
NSX
M?
M160.
No, the
Or
maximum
160.
current, the 160. You can measure up to 160 amps in that case.
Actually, I think yes, Azam, could you confirm
Your question about the NSX breakers?
no, the PowerTag F160 for the NSXM. What is the maximum current that you can
We
measure?
have two models, one up to 250 ampere and one
No, no,
up
no.
to 630 ampere.
No, he's talking about the NSXM, not NSX only.
And it's the same.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Is there a limitation on the lower side of the current?
Good question.
The minimum current that the PowerTag could measure, right? I
Yes.
tested and I tested and validated it can read about like 0.1 ampere or 0.2 ampere
Okay,
up
good.
to the range of 1 ampere you can read.
Mhm.
Okay, and we have so many success stories across all the segments, so we can use the PowerTag in data center, industrial manufacturing, food and beverage, commercial buildings, banks, offices, train stations, retail chains, ports, centers, schools, whatever you want to use. Even in your home, you can use it, the PowerTag, because it's simple and easy to install. So we have across all of the segments, we have a great success stories, and here is something called making visible and visible. Here is some of the output that you could see using the PowerTag. So as you can see, we can reach even the sockets, how it's consuming the power. And of course, if you have a fan, if you have a pump, so you can see this small single line diagram, or even if you want to go in further analysis using one of our softwares like the Power Monitoring Expert to have some analysis regarding to your energy and to be more sustainable and more efficient. So you have to get some readings from your loads, and not only, like I told you, not only the incoming, you have to allocate every and each of these consumptions. So here is the output, or even like I told you, you can open the uh, um, web page of the panel server itself. You could also see the output. And here is one of the biggest success stories in Madrid, his exhibition center in Madrid, and using more than 3,000 PowerTag units, using, of course, a software called, one of our softwares called EcoStruxure Power Monitoring Expert, to get the alarms, to have the analysis regarding to your usage, and also to give you the recommendation to save your energy. And like you know, saving energy is not just to put something in your electrical panel and yes, you can save energy. No, you have to had you have to have like something called a plan to save your energy and repeat it. So the first thing to have these plans is to see the consumption, or to see what you cannot see, in order to put the plan to save your energy. So this is the last slide, the smallest wireless energy sensor in the world. And if you have any question before I jump to the next product, I'm free. Any questions?
For the minimum current can read the power tag, I have just checked the technical data sheet. For the 63 ampere, it's 40 milliampere. This is the minimum current.
Very
For
good.
the 160 ampere, it's 100 milliampere. The minimum current can be read. So it depends, and I guess it's very small, so it can. With the smallest load, it can sense also the current. So 40 milliampere and 100 milliampere, it's very sensitive. Okay. We will share also the technical data sheet and the presentation just after.
Yes, yes, of course. Okay, do you have any question, or we could go to the next one? Okay, I have to reshare again because I have a video to show you. Okay, stop sharing. Share. Share system audio. Okay. Okay, the second product that you saw is something called HeatTag. HeatTag is a sensor that is easily prevent you from the fires. How it's gonna do this? It's not a smoke detector at all because it analyzes the particles that is coming out from the cables when it's heated or when it's going to be in danger of fire. So it can sense the particles, and with some AI analysis, it could tell you that you have a normal operation, or you have a material invisible transformation, or the cable is melting, or we have a smoke. So easily we have three levels of alarms to prevent you from the fire uh, 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 um, situations in your facility or inside your panels, and also it communicate wireless, but this product has an it's not support, it has a battery inside. Sorry, it must have uh, a power supply to feed the product, and it is the communication is the same like the PowerTag. It's a Zigbee communication or wireless, so you can easily put it in your panel and to give them a power supply 24 volt DC or 22 EC, and it can work. And also it measures the environmental temperature and humidity inside the switchboard and give you an air quality index, and you can after that take its concentrator to your system to see your level of fires or level of fire prevention. So like you said, it's an overheating.
Salah, if you allow me just to add one thing. So
Yeah.
basically, the main idea behind the heat tag is that we are not just we don't think of ourselves as just as an electrical equipment supplier. We think of ourselves always in the terms of sustainability, of safety, of power management. We are your digital partner for efficiency and sustainability. So when we looked at electrical fires and electrical hazards, it's according to studies, 25% of these hazards or of these fires are mainly due to electrical reasons. Of the fires that happen generally in any commercial building or any industrial building. And according to a study that was done by AXA, the insurance company, if there is let's call it a devastating fire, the company that had this fire will probably go bankrupt within 5 years. So this is where the initiative came from. We do not want to consider heat tag like Salah was just showing in the graph in the slide before that. We're not waiting till the incident happens. We're not waiting till the fire happens or till the browning of the cables happen. we're actually talking within the material invisible transformation. We're talking before you even sense there is a fire, before you see the smoke, or before you see the fire or the emitted heat from it. As for the supply, yes, exactly. As for the supply, it's considered from a single phase supply. The consumption is maximum 0.1 amps, so nearly nothing. And the supply voltage can range from 100 volt to 277, single source, single phase, sorry. Okay, go ahead, Salah. Sorry.
So yeah, and to add another comment here, like Muhammad said, we want to be a trusted partner in efficiency and sustainability. It's just a pre-alarms. We don't wait until the first happens, like he said, before it happens, because it is working 24/7 to analyze your cable overheating or your cable behavior. So you don't have to put on just a peace of mind. You don't want to have an stress, or you don't want to have like a fear regarding to the fires or the explosion that you can get inside your panels. Okay, so HeatTag is a small sensor for early detection of overheating wire connection or overheating cables. It preventing electrical campaigns from being damaged by analyzing gas and particles in the air and sending alerts before any smoke or insulator blowing. So the idea here is to send an alarm before it happens. So how we can put it? Here's the dimensions. We put it one power tag per column, and he gonna take care about the whole column itself. But we have to put it at the top because it has a fan to 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 sense or to take the particles in order to have an analysis. So it's gonna be in the top of the cables.
Yeah, basically because we're sensing the particles of the cables that are most likely will be hotter than the rest of
So
the
it's gonna be go up.
than the rest of the cable. Yeah, so basically they will go up. So that's why you should install it at the top of the compartment.
Okay. Also, we have something called TH110. This is a spot temperature. So you can put it on the cables like in this picture, on the busbar like in this picture, and it's different from the heat tag. Why? Because here it gets the spot temperature of the connected thing or the connected spot that it is. As you could see, this is a complete alternative solution and better solution of the thermal or the thermal scan. And if you know the thermal scan, you can get a service provider with a thermal camera to get you the hotspot points inside your panels. And by this solution, you will ever need this services anymore because you are putting a babysitter inside your panel to send you the actual temperature. And also in the other hand, for the cable compartments, you have your intelligent device, which is the heat tag, to get the pre-alarm before the cables is heated. So you're gonna have a spot temperature of the cable, and also you're gonna have or the busbar, and also you're gonna have an overall of your cable compartments, what's going on inside your panel. And both of these are working in Zigbee communication, so no extra wires, no extra installation. It's just you put the device and that's it. Okay, this is the end of the heat tag. If you have any question regarding to this amazing product, just tell me, I'm here.
I have a question.
Yeah, of
Because
course.
you mentioned that you are monitoring humidity as well.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, I just curiosity sake because it's my field of work. Uh, Not humidity, but particularly this kind of device. What is there any issue related to humidity that you have on the panel?
Okay. humidity is very important regarding to the panel to keep it in to be in a certain level, because like if you increase the humidity inside the panel, it maybe have an arc, or it reduces the the distance between the phases or whatever that scan does. So humidity is very important. I know maybe in the LV you don't have this level of high voltage differences, but if the level is too much, you can see some sparks regarding between the phases or between the cables and the screw itself. So humidity is a very important thing to measure or to see inside your campaign or inside your panel.
And a final question again from my side.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yes, yes.
This device will be also interacting with the other device that we saw in the previous presentation, the server.
Yeah, it is the same concentrator, the same one that you are using for the PowerTag. You can use it for the HeatTag.
Okay, so
don't-
they
you don't need-
communicate wireless to the
Yeah,
server, and
yes.
then the server gets out via a
A
wiring
wired
system.
Modbus TCP over IP to your system or to your laptop and to open a web page for the gateway. It's either this or this. So imagine that you have a single panel, you're putting your power tags for the energy consumption on voltage loss alarms, and also you have your power tag in the cable compartment. At the end, you will need one concentrator in order to make this panel connected or to make this panel smart uh, uh, at the end. So yeah, it's the same concentrator.
Hi, a question, please.
Yeah.
Can I? Okay, so my first question is, how long have these PowerTag and HeatTag been in the market?
Muhammad and Azam could answer about this.
Sorry, how long is what?
How long
HeatTag and
have
PowerTag in the market.
Uh, for the HeatTag, it's a brand new innovation. It's been in the market since the beginning of last year, but it already has some install base in Europe, and we already also won with it a project. It's going to be installed in about 2 or 3 projects here in the NEAL cluster in Egypt and Iraq. That's for the PowerTag.
The PowerTag, it's launched, I guess, 5 years ago, or more than 5 or 6 years ago, I guess in 2018. And we have a very huge install base in the Middle East, in Europe, in US. So we can share with you all this if you need.
Yeah, we have too many success stories in PowerTag.
Yeah, because it's already launched 6 years ago, in 2018, as I remember.
Yeah, and like I told you, for the HeatTag as well, ever since it was launched, I think it has about 10 plus projects in just 1 year, spread across Europe, and at least these are the ones that I know about, spread across Europe and Northeast Africa and the Levant area.
I think we have more also, Muhammad, than 10
Yeah,
projects.
I'm sure we have a lot more than this, but I'm talking about the ones that that I'm familiar with. We can get you a full reference list for these products.
Okay, thank you. And then the question is, what are the maintenance requirements, for example, on the HeatTag? You mentioned there is like a sampling mode or something like that. So what are the maintenance checks required to check that the sensors are working correctly?
I couldn't hear your question very well. Your network, I think, is bad. So if you could repeat.
My question, can you hear me now?
Yeah, somehow I can hear you. I'm trying. You could ask in the chat if it's applicable to you.
Okay, I'll put in the chat.
Great.
What are the maintenance? Okay, maintenance checks requirement for these devices.
Okay, for HeatTag, basically HeatTag has 2 indicators on it, other than the indicator when there is a fault or when there is lower air quality, the 3 levels that Salah mentioned. For HeatTag, it has an indicator for the operation, When it's green and blipping, this is the test mode. When it's green and ongoing, this is the normal operation. When it's orange, this mentioned that it has a triggered alert. And when it's red, this means that there is a malfunction in the heat tag itself. So it's self-proclaiming that it needs some maintenance. And when it's red and ongoing, this means that the replacement of the heat tag is required. This is for the power port or for the operation port. There is another LED lamp or LED indicator. This one is for the network connectivity. When it's giving blipping signals in green, this means that it's an identification mode. It's connecting. When it gives infrequent indicators each 60 seconds, this means that it's in the network. It's the normal communication. Orange means that it's looking for the panel server or the gateway, and orange ongoing, this means that it's unable to connect. Then we have the red indicators, 3 levels. When it gives a long indication after 8 seconds, this means that it's resetting to the factory setting. When it gives one blip of red, this means that there's an occasional loss of communication. Repeating this red indicator means that it's not communicating with the panel server. And when it gives a steady red indicator, this means that there is an internal error. So basically, it will tell you when you need maintenance. It will tell you when there is an issue. It will tell you if it's just trying to connect or if it's just a minor error. For the PowerTag,
yes, the same idea for PowerTag. It has a LED. When the LED is blinking normal, like the router we have in our homes, it's it's normal operation. It's communicating. When it will be red, it's a malfunction. So the details is available in the installation and maintenance guide, and we will share it just after our call.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the main idea, they will tell you that there's an issue. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, my question was more on the maintenance, right? So rather than the state, okay, whether it's communicating or not, it's sort of whether it's maintenance free or not. You know, that's
Yeah, so you're talking basically about if we need to have like a visual inspection about the fan,
Yeah,
right?
typically it's maintenance free, just a visual inspection every now and then, because that's what we're telling you. And even if there is an issue, it will send the signal to the panel server that there's an issue, and you can go and check which LED is signaling.
Yeah, and also
But
you
typically
can you can see the level of connectivity of the heat tag. Is it a good connection or bad connection or a moderate connection? But if you are talking about the, how can I say, the preventive maintenance regarding to these products, I think it's kind of free because you have a small inspection and everything is okay. It doesn't we don't have any moving or any two moving objects inside of these products. It's just working, and if we have something wrong, it's gonna send us an alarm to go and inspect, like Mohammed said and Azam.
okay. Thank you. So, and permit me, please, one last question. So,
Sure.
from an insurance perspective, are these approved from insurance that they can, for example, replace infrared thermography? So, these obviously were continuous monitoring, right? The heat tags. But are these approved from an insurance company that they can, for example, replace thermography, or are they an add-on to thermography? Because we have a program.
Replace what? Replace what?
Thermography, infrared thermography.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. For the heat tag, it is not a full replacement, but for the both solution, heat tag and TH110 is a full solution. If you are putting a TH110 sensors inside the points that you want to see, is a full replacement of a thermal scanning or thermograph.
So in the next slide, we will see another innovative solution that can replace somehow the thermograph.
Okay.
This kind of maintenance you will do.
Yeah,
I
just
guess
give
you
me
are
a second.
preparing this. Yes, you can share.
Okay, just give me a second.
Sure.
Mohammed,
Yeah.
just another
Which
question,
one?
just to continue over Paul's question. The full solution that you are presenting now, is it accepted by insurance companies such that insurance companies would accept your solution rather instead of an infrared thermography system?
It is not out yet. It's not announced
Yeah.
loudly yet. But if you are seeing both solutions, or if you are talking to a service provider that is doing this service, you will tell you that it is a complete replacement of the thermograph. Just give me a second to show you.
Yeah, we don't usually go to insurance companies and get their certification on a global level, but we can work with them explaining the entire solution that Salah is going to share. We can show them the benefits of the heat tag. We can show them the benefits of the power tag. We can show them how it's going to replace the thermal sensing or the thermographs that are typically done. Our solutions, as you know, they are basically type tested. So we can give them the type test certificates. We can give them the parameters that we measure. We can give them the list of references, and we can work on them to approve locally. But it's not as far as we're concerned, as far as we know. Having as a something like a stamp from any insurance company that it's already approved by it.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to share right now. Okay. Here we go. Okay. I'm just.
Are you sharing, Salah?
Yeah, I'm going to share. Just give me a second. Just show you around it.
Yeah.
Okay. Here is the facts that Muhammad said before. First cause of corporate insurance claim after natural disaster, 24.5% fire accounts for almost a quarter of the value of our claims, 22% of all workplace fires attributes to electrical fires. And here is the causes regarding to the fire. So even you have a poor connection or arcing across a carbonized path, arcing in the air, and here is the humidity that you are asking about. Reduces the withstand fault to break, and you could have an arc inside your panel, excessive thermal installation, overload, or hot particles. Here's the thermograph, traditional method of risk mitigation. So it is a periodic 1 to 2 times per year, performed in an IR windows. It is not safe because you are uh, uh, um, in front of the panel. So if you have anything or wrong or anything happen, it's gonna have explosion in front of you. And also you cannot reach every point inside your panel because some points it's gonna be an cheats or something like you cannot penetrate. So it or not have an accurate measurement for these. And what is our solution is a continuous thermal monitoring with an IoT technology. So if you could see, we are putting the cables on the cables. Here is the tags, or here is the TH110 tags to get the temperature, so you can put in the circuit breaker arms for the incoming, for the outgoings, for the connection of the bus bars, horizontal or vertical, to get the hotspot at early stage and prevent unplanned downtime. Is a self-powered wireless sensor. It don't have any batteries. It's working like the same the power tags with a magnetic field, like like Azam said in the beginning of this session. And by the way, also it connects to the same concentrator, which is the panel server. So for the commercial building, here we can see we have two solutions combined together in order to have the complete solution for fire prevention in the commercial industrial building. And we can put it everywhere. We can put it in the busways, we can put it in the transformers for the tap changes, for the incomings, for the outgoings, for the windings, for inside the panels, inside the drawers, also in the MV ring main unit, or the MV MC set, sorry, switch gears, which is an MC set here in Schneider. So we can put it everywhere. And here is the outcome. You can see in an HMI of your panel, or you can get a small receiver or a dongle to receive in your mobile phone, or if you have a complete system and analysis, like I told you, power monitoring expert or whatever, one of our softwares. So here is the complete story of replacement, the thermal graph. So I hope this answers your questions, or if not, please give us more information about this in order to help you.
The small question from my side, please, Mohammed.
Yeah.
What is the accuracy of the measurements for the power and the heat tag, please? For the power tag, actually.
For the for the power tag, you have 10 plus or minus 10% for the power tag.
Measurement accuracy, 10%.
Yeah.
Plus one.
Right. Plus one or plus 10? I don't know. Plus one. Plus one.
Plus one. Plus one accuracy.
1%.
Just
If you
one.
can open the data sheet to
I have the data sheet with me. Just one.
yeah, double check.
Plus one.
Yeah. Okay, it's plus one.
1%. Okay.
Just wait. Yes. Active energy plus one.
Plus one. All right. Plus.
Other questions?
Not from my side.
Andreso, I can see that you're talking, but you're on mute.
You're on mute.
I mean, it's a very interesting device because it works a bit on the field. I mean, the people of Malta, you know that I work in a company that manufactures cooling devices for electrical cabinets. So we are very much interested in the temperature. We are very much interested in the humidity as well. What happened is that we are not going to those temperatures because the temperatures that you are going to measure when you will be detecting smoke will be in the region of over 120 degrees. Our cooling units are going to cool the cabinet, the electrical enclosure, something like 35 degrees, 40. It's a very interesting thing, and it could be a redundant help to detect problems with our systems. I was just wondering,
but then I'm not sure if you can hear me.
how am I going to integrate
Sorry,
our
because
cooling?
broke a bit. Our connection broke a bit. Can you repeat?
Sorry.
Last thing we heard is that you have cooling units that can go down to 35 degrees.
No, usually the standard temperature setting is 35 degrees.
Yeah.
For electrical and electronic cabinets. So when you will be detecting smoke that could be lead to a problem, you will be in temperatures over 90 degrees, 85 degrees, or even 100. So it's well above what we do in that sense. Also, I am saying that I was thinking, how am I going to integrate our communication of the communication of our cooling units with the EcoStruxure that you have, which will be something interesting. Was going to be a question for later.
For the cooling, we have a dedicated offer for the HVAC and building management system. It's for EcoStruxure building, and both are integrated. So what is the communication protocol you need to integrate with?
Yeah, and also for the communication protocol, keep in mind that HeatTag doesn't only work on.
No, I will just show you.
Salah, can you mute for a second? Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just 1 minute. I will join and I will show you how we can get this reading through the panel server.
Yes, till Azam joins from his laptop. Like I was saying, keep in mind that the HeatTag doesn't only work on temperature and humidity. So it's also working on the air quality inside the panel. So even if there is no apparent heat, it will still analyze the particles of the air inside the panel, and it's looking, because this is a recurring question. What if it's a dust particle? What if it's a sand particle? Stuff like that. It's looking for specific particle types that are related to the insulation of the cables. So it's not going to, even if the cooling mechanism reduces the degree of the heat and you're not able to sense this degree. Sorry. Okay, sorry. You keep in mind that the HeatTag will keep analyzing these particles and tell you that there's a degree of air quality that's not achieved. So you should check the cables, depending on which level, depending on if it's the first level, second level, or third level. For the second part, for the connection to the cooling devices, Azam is sharing the screen. I guess you guys can see it.
This is not for the cooling devices. This is to sum up what we have presented today. So the core of the smart panel is the EcoStruxure panel server. The device in the middle of this architecture. This device in white and green. It's typically a gateway, but it's a combined between various communication protocol. So it's simply like any gateway that can convert from Modbus serial to Modbus TCP/IP. This is the same gateway. However, we have added some additional features. So it can convert from Modbus RS485 or Modbus serial to Modbus TCP/IP. It can convert from Modbus TCP/IP to TCP/IP. It can get ZigBee communication protocol devices, what we have presented in our session today. So it can get with wireless communication protocol ZigBee, the PowerTag, the HeatTag, the thermal sensor, and they can work as concentrator to collect the data from your panel, ZigBee, Modbus TCP/IP, even it have digital input auxiliary contact that you can get on or off for your breaker. And then you can easily have your Ethernet cable and push this to your EcoStruxure system or any type of software. The beauty inside the panel server, it has two model. One is the basic one, can collect the data from the downstream ZigBee or Modbus serial to the upstream layer, the software, and have another one. This is the typical one. Have the advanced panel server. It contains also 3 years data logging. It have internal memory, so you can start very basic your system. So if you don't have the budget to go for a software and the IT to have a server and software to connect all this data, you can have the advanced panel server inside your panel, and you can connect all the devices, thermal sensor, HeatTag, PowerTag, any meter with a serial communication, and you can just connect it to the panel server with your laptop with Ethernet cable and log in with username and password from the web interface and get all the data, and also make the programming, have the data logging. You can set the data you need to log for the any alarm, for the energy, for the current, and you can extract this in an Excel file. And also you can see this in a dashboard inside the panel server itself. Typically, like you are programming or have some data from SL router in your home.
Yeah,
It's a very small device, and this is the core for the smart panel.
yeah, and actually one more advantage that's noteworthy to be mentioned here is that we can actually work on it as a retrofit solution. So for the HeatTag, if you already have an establishment that's ongoing and you want to upgrade the safety levels, you can install the panel server and you can install the HeatTags in a retrofit way. Just we will need to do a couple of checks to make sure that the panel dimensions and the panel configuration is similar to the standard that the HeatTag is going on. But from our last visit to Malta, I think that most of the panels, at least in the major establishments, are up to the required standard, and you can work on it in a retrofit way. So it's not just a solution to be considered for the new projects. You can also consider it for the existing projects as well.
And also it's very small. It will not take any footprint.
Yeah.
So no extra panels you will need or extra dimension. This is a quick video for the panel server.
You guys can hear the voice of the video.
Panel server also have Wi-Fi communication, so you can connect it wireless to your network in your building, in the factory, or you can connect it wireless like in the video. If you are going to make the setting, so just you can connect wireless with your laptop and make the setting, see the dashboard and everything.
Any other questions? So I think this is all for our session. Thank you, Salah. Thank you, Azam. Thank you, David, and everyone who attended. Hope the session was beneficial and opened the room for consideration for these devices, even more room, because I know you guys are already interested in them. And I hope we answered your questions. And of course, all the data, David, we're going to share with you the presentation and the data sheets, so you can share with the guys from the chamber.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you very much for the presentation. I will definitely send all the technical material to all attendees. And please, if you have further questions, do not hesitate to contact us. And of course, we will get back to you as soon as possible. If you would also like to have a separate, perhaps more in detail meeting with Schneider Electric, also please let us know, and we can organize a separate meeting as well.
Yes, always at your service.
So thank you very much, gentlemen, for attendance. We will have further webinars by Schneider Electric, and we will keep you posted soon. So thank you very much, and have a nice day.
Thanks, everyone. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Very interesting. Thank you. Ciao. Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.